What's up, everybody? Kier Gomes here, and welcome back. The time has finally come. It's finally here, guys. Most of you probably already know what today's episode is about, but in case you don't, here's a quick overview. Today we're gonna be taking a look at the Jerry's Nuggets playing cards. These are the reprints. They were printed by the United States Playing Card Company, and the distribution were all done through Expert Playing Cards. So basically it's a USPCC deck, but the licensing is through Expert Playing Cards, so this is an Expert Playing Cards deck. I don't think I need to get into the whole history of why this is so exciting, but to go over it very quickly at high speed, in the 1970s, the original Jerry's Nuggets were printed. They were meant to be used at the Jerry's Nuggets casino in Las Vegas. They were originally made for the gaming tables over there. Eventually the decks ended up just being sold for $1 at the gift shop, and the rest of them remained somewhere in storage for a really long time. And the deck has become one of the most rare and highly sought after decks of playing cards ever in the world. Very difficult to get your hands on. We're basically like the OG, the original hype deck. Think of it that way. So Bill Kalush over at Expert Playing Cards, after years and years and years of no Jerry's Nuggets, made a deal with Jerry's Nuggets to get the exclusive rights to reprint the deck. So this is a authentic, true Jerry's Nuggets deck. The licensing was sold to Bill Kalush. He's got the rights to it. He can print Jerry's Nuggets decks all he wants. And that's a good thing for us, because what you're really getting is a modern USPCC feel with the classic Jerry's Nuggets aesthetic, which is what every cardist, every magician, every card collector and handler wants. If you want more history, definitely just search Jerry's Nuggets on YouTube and you will find all kinds of videos kind of explaining the hype around this. But in June, the Jerry's Nuggets reprints went to Kickstarter, and I was super thrilled. Just as a fan of playing cards, this was a deck that to me, I just really wanted to have in my collection, so I ordered them, and they finally got here. So we're gonna take a look and review the decks. Now, for this episode, we're just gonna be reviewing the blue and red OG reprints. The teal ones and the coral ones I did not order from Kickstarter, so we're gonna have to wait until they go to some third-party retailer, and at that point, I'll pick them up and we'll do a follow-up review. And that was a lot to get through, so before we get started, please do drop a like on this video and subscribe if you haven't already. And without further ado, let's roll that intro and get you guys on your way.
Let's go.
All right, one last thing before we get into the review. I do want to take the time to thank Jerry's Nuggets Playing Cards and the Expert Playing Card Company. I reached out to the Expert Playing Card Company to see if they would sponsor a giveaway for this video. I will announce a partial giveaway at the end of this video, and then once I hear back from Expert, I'll do a follow-up and we'll do a real giveaway at that point. By the way, Expert, if you are watching this video, hook us up, you know? Hook us up. It'll be a lot of fun. It'll be a lot of fun and it'll really help me out. All right, so first things first, let's talk about everything that came with the package. Once you get past the great packaging and the eternal rolls of bubble wrap to keep the cards from getting damaged, which by the way, I really appreciate, then we'll get to the first thing I received, which was a Jerry's Nuggets brick box. The next thing you get is a charcoal envelope with a gold foil stamped Jerry's Nuggets emblem on it. Within that envelope, you get 2 extra Jerry's Nuggets tuck cases, a couple of stickers, and you get a letter thanking you for your pledge from Kickstarter. This is also really nice, embossed, and it is signed in foil by Bill Kalush. Then of course, finally, getting through the eternal rolls of bubble wrap. You can see that I received a nice matte magnetic brick box. It is foil embossed with the Jerry's Nuggets logo on it. It's a beautiful matte red, and it has a magnetic closing strip, which is really cool to keep the cards safe. And of course within it, I got a brick of Jerry's Nuggets playing cards. I ordered 6 blue and 6 red. Now this was super exciting because I expected the brick box to come separately. I didn't think that every brick would come in one of these. So now I end up with 2 of them, which is really good for you guys because I'm gonna be including that in my partial giveaway. So we'll talk a little bit more about that at the end. Now I did already open 2 of these decks. I just couldn't help myself. So we're gonna do a review of the blue and red Jerry's Nuggets. And I am so very excited. The tuck boxes are done just the same as the classic Jerry's Nuggets decks. It is the back design of the cards printed on the front, as well as the backs. Both sides of the decks say Jerry's Nugget in that authentic Jerry's Nuggets font. The bottom of the decks have some ad copy about expert playing cards, their deal with Jerry's, and the printing ad copy, which is by United States Playing Card Company. The tops of the tuck case say North Las Vegas, Nevada. And you get your classic Jerry's Nugget off-centered blue seal. Now this is pretty close to the original seals, and on the original Jerry's Nugget seals they were off-center. So really cool way to make it look authentic, great attention to detail. I don't have an original Jerry's Nuggets to compare this to, but there's also videos like that all over the internet for you guys. Now, when I pledged for this on Kickstarter, I bought the decks for me to use. Usually, if I really like a deck and I feel like I can perform with it, and it's not just something I'm gonna practice or review, usually I'll buy a brick, typically not more than that, and I'm really regretting not buying a second brick right now. And as a result of that, I also didn't buy any of the vintage feel Jerry's Nuggets decks, although I really appreciate that, and I can definitely see the appeal for a lot of collectors. It's not something that has a practical application for me. It's not something that I would actually use, so I didn't buy any. But if you did, please comment down below and let me know what you think of them. I would love to hear all about that in the comments. There's nothing on the inside of the tuck flaps. And let's take a look at the cards. So for the back design, you can see the decks have their respective colors. This is extremely close to the original Jerry's Nuggets colorway. It's almost identical, a little bit brighter, I believe, but looks really, really nice. You get a nice medium size, almost thin border, and you get that classic Jerry's Nuggets logo mirrored on the back. One thing I really like about this is the blue looks pretty much identical to the Jerry's Nuggets blue, and that could not have been easy. Seeing it in person, it's absolutely gorgeous royal blue. I don't know which one of these I like better. I'm usually partial to red playing cards, but the blue with the contrast, it does look really, really good. Now, other than the back designs, the rest of the deck is the exact same. So for the rest of this, minus when we talk about the handling, I'll switch it up, but we're pretty much just gonna be reviewing one of these. There's no need to do both. You get your classic Jerry's Nuggets Ace of Spades. It's a very, very standard casino style ace. Kind of got that like tribal line work on the inside. And it even went as far as to put the details on the ad copy at the bottom, exactly how you would have seen it on the Jerry's Nuggets deck. We're also gonna get your classic Jerry's Nuggets Jokers. You can see it's the Jerry's Nuggets sign. You can still see this in Las Vegas. It says Joker in each corner and compliments of North Las Vegas, Nevada at the bottom. So really, really nice casino style Jokers. Right down to the individual lines, it looks very, very similar to what I could see the Joker on the authentic Jerry's Nuggets first edition looks like. Really, really good. I did see a video that talked about the differences, and I think one of them mentions that the font that Joker is written in is a little bit cleaner on this deck, but to be honest, I doubt anybody would really know the difference. All right, now as far as ad cards and gaff cards, you are gonna get one extra Joker, only instead of being done in black, it is done in red. Now that is on the blue and red decks. It's done in red on both. It looks really, really cool. This could be good for like a color change. You could use it for just an extra Joker, really up to you. You are also gonna get a white back Jerry's Nugget playing card with a blank face. So you can use this as like a cut card. A lot of casinos would use it, so that way when they're dealing cards, you put it on the bottom of the deck and nobody can see what that bottom card is. But you can also use this for a magic effect, definitely. So there you go. Now the faces of this deck are gonna be pretty much bicycle standard, but they are gonna have a little bit of a vintage feel. So you can see that if I were to compare the court cards on a Jerry's Nuggets deck to a standard bicycle rider back, the details, especially in the faces, are a little bit different. The lines are actually thinner on the Jerry's Nuggets deck, which I think adds a nice level of vintage feel to these cards. It looks really nice. Other than that, you can see that the face cards are completely industry standard, making this deck perfect for things like Magic, Cardistry, and Poker Night. All right, now in general, I'm super stoked on this deck. I absolutely love it. I have been asked already a couple times today how these cards handle, so let's go ahead and switch angles and we'll talk about the handling. All right, now in terms of handling, this deck is printed by the United States Playing Card Company on crushed paper stock. So it's gonna feel very similar to what you would be used to from the United States Playing Card Company. One thing that I noticed did feel a little bit different is that these cards are a little bit more dry feeling out of the box, which I really, really like. They don't feel slippery necessarily. They feel very, very soft and papery, and I really like that. If I had to compare the way that these cards feel to a deck that you might own, I would definitely say check out maybe the Gemini Casino playing cards, specifically the ones printed on Casino stock. And if not that, then maybe like Tally-Ho's. They do feel very similar to a Tally-Ho deck, even the newer USPCC ones. Yeah, I've been playing with this deck all day, probably about 5 hours now. I would say maybe like in the last 5 hours, I've used this deck for maybe 3 hours. So as you can see, after about 3 hours of continuous use, it still fans pretty well. About as good as any other USPCC deck. The cards feel really nice in springs, and they look really nice in springs too. Check that out. Very nice. Here's that new gerbil sound. Sounds good. Let's check out the blue ones really quick so you guys can see those. This is what the blue ones look like in a fan. Really nice contrast, as you can see. Now these ones I haven't used as much as the red ones. I mostly use the red ones, but I did use the blue ones for about an hour as well. And as you can see, they look great in flourishes. That blue really pops with the red, and I like that so much. Under pressure. Now this is definitely a deck that I would recommend using for Magic and cardistry. It's very classy and it's respected by magicians and cardists everywhere. The cards faro best from bottom to top. I don't know how the original Jerry's Nuggets cards faroed, but these ones definitely go best from bottom to top. Snappiness check. Nice. Now these cards are a little bit snappier than some crushed USPCC decks, which is a good thing. They're not stiff, but they are a little bit snappier, and they feel even a little bit thicker, which I really, really like. It is still crushed stock though, so for you USPCC nuts out there, if you're wondering, this deck is definitely going to feel very familiar, and I mean that in the best possible way. In terms of cardistry, it obviously looks really good. This is something that, if you've been into playing cards for a little while, you can definitely see from like Dan and Dave cardistry videos how good Jerry's Nuggets look in movement. I love the contrast on the blue ones with the red and white. That looks really, really nice. In general, this deck is just a lot of fun to play with. I really, really enjoy it. I wish so badly that I would have backed an extra brick of these, for sure. You can see how thin the cards are, and there you go. All right, now before we go, let's talk about the giveaway. As I mentioned at the beginning of this video, I'm still waiting to hear back from the Expert Playing Card Company on whether or not they'd be willing to sponsor a giveaway. But as a sign of good faith, I will be giving away this Jerry's Nuggets brick box. This is what it looks like when it is put together. It holds 12 decks, so a standard brick. It's got a magnetic flap on it so you can close it and your decks will stay secure. It's matte red with gold embossing and it looks sweet. I'll be giving that box away regardless, so whether or not Expert Playing Cards does decide to sponsor a giveaway with me, I'm going to be giving that away. However, if they do decide to sponsor a giveaway, whatever they're willing to chip in, I will put inside the brick box and ship that out to a winner. So if you want to enter that, all you have to do is like this video, make sure that you're a subscriber on this channel, and tell me in the comments if you prefer the red Jerry's Nuggets or the blue Jerry's Nuggets, and why. That's important. I also want to know why. Once I hear back from Expert, I'll do a separate video. It might just be at the end of my next video, and I'll explain, one, if they were down to do it. I really hope so. But if not, you can still win a pretty awesome brick box. So I would give away some of the cards, but I really do plan on using these. This is a deck that I can perform with, but also I simply just want to make sure that I can get my hands on more before I give away any of the ones that I pledged for. I know, I should have thought about that. I'm real sorry. But hopefully we can get Expert to throw in some decks and you can win yourself a kick-ass brick box. All right, guys, that's pretty much it for me. So I hope you all enjoyed this video. I know I had a lot of fun making it. Let me know if you enjoyed it down below or by leaving a like on this video. With all that being said, I hope everybody has a wonderful rest of their day. I know I will. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.
Let's go.